Hey guys, Madballer here, and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be going up against Nasus in the top lane. For runes I'll be running Lethal Tempo with Sorcery Secondary. I've taken Bloodline this game instead of Tenacity as they don't have a lot of CC, and I'm running Nimbus Cloak for the kill pressure with Ignite. The Nasus matchup's quite a snowbally lane, where if you don't get an early advantage or a kill before level 6, you can start losing the 1v1 as soon as level 6 or 7. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going to be pushing the lane in as fast as possible. I want to push the first 2 waves and then bounce it off turret so it pushes back to me. If Nasus is really out of position, I can go for a short trade, but otherwise I'm just trying to shove him in as fast as possible. For runes I decided to run Lethal Tempo. You can run Conqueror in this matchup, but I think Lethal Tempo is better for the Essence Reaper build. So I want to shove this second wave in. I'm missing a few CS, but that's okay. You just want to get into tower. And I'm going to go ward in a second for that early, because Graves can gank early on. So I'm going to try and see if I can get a couple of autos off. So I can do the auto E combo and take only 1 tower shot. So you can see by the wave placement that it will start to try and push back, so I need to try and last hit this and see if I can get it to push back into me, so I can look to go for a kill on Nasus around level 3 or 4. The Nasus matchup used to be a lot easier for Tryndamere, but with Nasus's recent buffs about a patch ago, he's got a lot stronger. His withers got stronger, and with the buffs to his E. I would go to say this matchup's probably favoured for Nasus, and you need a lot of practice to try and win this. So Lee Sin is coming to counter gank, but I'm going to go immediately now and try and help Lee Sin on this 2v2, and TF's following as well. We have got priority because Nasus isn't leaving lane, but we'll switch target to Talon. So here I'm able to pick up first blood, which is exactly the type of advantage I was talking about before. So I haven't been able to kill Nasus, but I've got extra early gold and a cloak of agility already. So I do have a little bit better all-in potential. Would have preferred to kill the Nasus and shut him down, but I'll take the first blood. And that leaves Lee able to invade with TF's help if he wants to. We do see Graves at Raptors. I will need to turn chat back on to talk to my team. So I did want to freeze the lane. I think Nasus isn't going to let me do that. But right now I'm pinging with my jungle because I need to kill Nasus early on. But unfortunately the wave's a little bit too big. Lee Sin's coming, but you can see here I'll take the minion damage. It hurts, but I've obviously got my my Q heal and some pots, so I'll do that. That means it's going to make Nasus either TP back or he's going to miss a lot of minions as it is going to shove back to me. And you can see here Nasus has to stay. He can't just leave the wave because he's going to miss that entire wave on the tower. But because there's too many minions, unfortunately I'm not able to freeze it, which is a bit of upsetting. But it's not the end of the world, as we can still slow push it back to him and we'll get all this CS on the tower. Nasus is still top, so he hasn't got his first base, which is what we want, because I've got an item advantage. So TF will be hitting level 6, so we'll try and see if we can get TF to come top. If not, it's okay, but we just want to shut down Nasus because otherwise it's going to get really tough. If you're not able to shut down Nasus early on, you can go Tiamat and just try and shove him in and roam. That's one way to play the matchup, but it does leave the problem that he will be stacking up and it will become a problem late game where you won't be able to 1v1 him at all. Looks like Nasus is back, so I'm going to try and shove this in and force his teleport. And you can see that there, he's going to teleport back. There's no point in me sitting under tower, so I'm just going to base here. Except I say, unfortunately, Nasus is frozen the wave outside of the tower, so I can't base. Smart play by him, but he did take a lot of damage. He's about 60% HP. So we can try and pressure him out from under tower because he doesn't have a lot of sustain because he hasn't got a pot. He's just got straight sheen. You can see that wither's already making it difficult for me to punish him. But same thing here, just try and get a couple of autos off. We've got a crit, which is very nice. So try and harass him as much as possible on the tower. Another auto, but I don't get the E damage. So try and zone Nasus off where we can. He's not doing a lot of damage yet. And he is shoving the wave here, so if I can last hit there, it'd be good. I'm gonna see if I can kill Nasus. But he does live with about 6 HP, unfortunately, but I do burn his flash, and I'll ping that to my jungler. Also, the wave is pushing back towards me, so I'm just going to try and get a quick base off as soon as possible. So really close to killing Nasus. It's not the end of the world because it is pushing to me, and we did get his flash. And you can see the important thing is I'm talking to my TF. I need him to come. I've burnt the summoner, but there's no point if I don't get a gank. But TF is going to come in. He does get the heal off, which is great. Ooh, and he does just get him with the wild card. That would have been really unfortunate if we hadn't killed him. But you can see I can leave the wave. It is pushing back towards me. This is a great spot to be in because Nasus is going to miss a ton of CS. So really good job by TF. But the important thing is that we burn his flash, and as soon as we burn the flash, we're going to talk to our team and to communicate to our team. It doesn't matter if you beg, just beg, ping, ping, ping. There's no point in burning a flash if you're not going to punish him for it. So we've now set Nasus a little bit behind. He's died once, we've got the kill and the assist, and we do have an item advantage. The important thing you need to be doing is delaying that point where Nasus beats you for as long as possible. If you can get the tower down before that, then he's just going to stack and be useless, and you can roam the map and help the map, but you don't want to lose early game. I do get this big wave on the tower. Trying to get as many of these as possible. Doing a fairly decent job. So now we just want to slow push this. Don't want to shove this in because Nasus will come back to lane and catch it. We just want to push this as slowly as possible and deny as much CS as possible. So Lee Sin is coming top. We don't want to alert Nasus to the gank. But I think Nasus has a ward in river. So I put down the pink, but it must be deep in the river. But Nasus obviously knows that a gank's coming. So continuing to slow push, make sure we get all that CS. We're in a fairly good spot here. I'd like Nasus to have been denied a little bit more, but we can work with this. Now it is just going to crash on the tower, unfortunately. You can try and get a bit of damage on tower and Nasus again with the crit E. You win that trade. And because we took Legend Bloodline, we are going to be healing up with our life steal anyway. It's alright, Nasus. Look, once Nasus with you, you just got to spin out. You can't trade against that, unfortunately. So Nasus does pop ult. We're just going to back up as much as we can. Fortunately, we need to pop the ult. I don't believe we need to flash. That's okay. So he's burnt his ult. We burnt our ult. But the difference is that my team's winning, and I have map pressure with TF and Lee Sin. So again, the Nasus is overextending, so I ping my TF. And to be a little bit cautious, but if TF can come up, it's a guaranteed kill. Just back up here. Play it smart. But Nasus is really overextended. You can see he's only got about 100 mana. So if we can just keep him here for a few more seconds, we'll be in a great spot. Don't want to get killed by Nasus, so we want to back up. But we do pick him up here, so we kill him again. So the key things there was to just stay there and just bait Nasus for as long as possible, knowing that our jungler is coming, and just staying out of range of his Q so we don't die and give up a trade kill. And the end result is we punish Nasus again, and we're going to be able to shove this in and deny him more Q stacks and CS. Unfortunately, in this matchup, you do need to rely a little bit on your teammates, unless you're up against a really bad Nasus. This was a diamond Nasus, I believe, so he's obviously not going to be terrible, but I don't think he was a Nasus main, so we are able to kill him a few times. In lower elo, you can just kill Nasus a few times early game because they are going to be a little bit, probably a little bit more reckless. But the higher you go, the more this becomes reliant on the jungle, and you want to make Nasus over push and then punish his mistakes early on because he is incredibly gankable. So now we're just going to hard shove this as much as possible. If Nasus freezes that, we can't really do anything about it, but he's going to eventually push it with his Q stacking, so we'll just get it back off here. In a fairly good spot, 2-0, CS is decent, could be better, and we should be able to beat Nasus in 1v1 around this time, but we've got to be careful about fighting at the right time. So in this game, I'm definitely not going Tiamat. You almost never want to go Tiamat against Nasus because it auto pushes the lane. You're not able to freeze, and it doesn't give combat stats, which means that Nasus will outscale you much quicker. So against Nasus, you almost always want to go Essence Reaver. If you're losing hard, maybe you get Tiamat to farm jungle. Again, Nasus is overextended. He still doesn't have flash, and we can fight this. Lee Sin gets a great kick. We get the slow. And I do flash E, and we are able to kill Nasus again. And I'm asking Lee Sin to take Rift to take top tower as soon as possible, because once we've taken top tower, we can shove in, counter jungle, roam mid, and we don't have to lane against Nasus anymore. And generally what he'll do is he'll just try and stack up and get back to the game, so it becomes a 4v5 for the next 15 or so minutes, and that will usually win you most games. So I'm no longer stuck in the laning phase, which is fantastic. And we want to shove this in. I want to get the Rift Herald to get a little bit more damage on tower if possible, just to chunk it down for later. And as soon as it goes off, we probably need to back soon. Yep. So we'll get our back off, and so now we'll see what we can do on the map. Dragon's not up for a while, but we can see if we can help out mid, or counter jungle golems or red buff. So here I can see a fight going on our red buff, so I'm going to roam here. You can see Nasus is just slow pushing the wave, so he's not going to get to my tower for another couple of minutes. So what I can do is pressure bot lane, try and take the tower and some plates, and then rotate back top to catch the wave possibly. We don't need Bard bot, I prefer him just to go with Varus. Good try with the Bard ult, but we can still try and pressure them out from bot tower here. They can't stay. So if Lee Sin can hold top and pick up the CS, that'd be great. He just needs to clear the CS to make sure Nasus can't take tower. But see, we do pick up 4 plates and bot tower, and Nasus hasn't really impacted the map at all, so we want to keep doing that and try and close out the game as soon as possible. Hoping Lee Sin doesn't die to Nasus. That would not be ideal, but I don't think Nasus is quite strong enough yet for that. I'm going to put down that pink just to see if I've got a chance of killing the Ezreal. He does have his E, but if we get a slow on him, and we do have Ignite with Nimbus Cloak, so we can catch up. Luckily our team does a good job and kills Nasus again, so we're really keeping him down. And at this point, he's quite far behind, and it'll be a little while before he can fight us. I do see Senna coming bot, so I'm just going to try and get a pick and see if I can get my team to follow up. But Graves is here, so I just spin out over the wall. I see Ezreal coming and hopefully push another wave, so we're just going to hop in this bush and wait for him to push it a little bit. I do get the speed from Nimbus Cloak Ignite, which you can see is really valuable to catch up. It's a pretty easy kill. You want to run Nimbus Cloak in almost all matchups. The only time I wouldn't is if I'm running, I have to run Resolve Secondary for Second Wind and Revitalize or Demolish in tougher matchups. But in most matchups, or even the matchups that you think you can win without it, Nimbus Cloak is fantastic. The reason why is you can take Ignite rather than Ghost. Ghost is good on Tryndamere, but if you can just take Ignite with Nimbus Cloak, it gives you so much more early kill pressure. And that allows you to win some 1v1s in tougher matchups. And obviously with Nimbus Cloak, it's a mini Ignite, it's a mini Ghost as well. So fight's going on here, I'll just rotate Pretty sure we would have won it without me, obviously, but just to be there and is good enough. And you can see Nasus is again top. Because we're taking that tower, he's just slow pushing the wave, and it's a 4v5 on the rest of the map. Dragon is up, but I'm just going to go see if I can counter jungle the enemy team and put their jungler further behind, but it's not there, so we can go help the dragon. Just want to make sure my barrister is careful about the Nasus. He is 0-4, but the reality of Nasus with Wither is that he can probably still beat Varus in a 1v1 because he's got a bit of armor, but he should be fine as Nasus is not staying. Now I could back, but I just want to push one more wave. There's no real need to back, there's no objective on the map, nothing I need to prepare for, so I can just shove in another wave or two. Before Graves gets there, we can counter jungle away his Gromp and deny him that. I'm pinging my team back because obviously the rest of the team's right there. I don't really want to be fighting this. Trading kills in your head is not good, but we do, at least we do get a trade kill, which is better than nothing. One of Tryndamere's main strengths when he's ahead is not just getting kills, but the ability to counter jungle the enemy jungler. You take their camps, their buffs. You've got immense mobility with Essence Reaver Rush. As you can see, I've already got 30% CDR. So you can easily spin over, take camps, spin away, and you deny them a ton of gold and XP without having to fight. So just in a macro sense, it's really one of his major strengths, split pushing, is taking jungle camps. I was going to comment on Nasus. I don't like this matchup, honestly. It feels like a ticking time bomb almost, like you have to do something or you just lose. So, but I didn't end up saying it, but it feels great to win this matchup because Nasus is obviously, it's quite a simple champion, like Tryndamere, but it's very painful. As anyone else knows, it's very painful to be in a losing game against Nasus. So it feels great to shut him down. Pick up the Wraith camp. It's really important when you're ahead or when you're going back to lane. If you have time, Tryndamere clears jungle camps really quickly to pick that up. You can see Lee Sin's on Rift Herald, so he's not going to be there for a while, and by the time he gets bot lane, it'll respawn. So you're free to take that. It doesn't hurt your team, and it gets you even further ahead. You can also see that just with the raw AD from my Essence Reaver IE, I can one-shot the backline. So you don't. This is what I mean. You don't really need Tiamat. Tiamat's good to get you back into a losing game because you can farm golems really quickly, but you don't really need Tiamat in most matchups, which is why I don't tend to take if I don't need to. Gromp's back up, so we'll counter jungle that, take it away from the Graves and get further ahead. And I can go for the blue depending on the rest of the team. And I don't know what Nasus is doing here, but he's flashed out. I don't want to follow this. He's not worth much gold, but my bar does go over. So I didn't really want to follow. The reason I didn't want to follow that is it's low reward. Really, it's just to kill. We got the flash, and I could take away the blue buff. But we did get a trade kill, but maybe if I'd known Bard was going to go over, I would have followed quicker. But yeah, there's no need. I don't always go for kills on Tryndamere. It's you want to macro the map as much as possible, but not the worst result. So since Dragon's up, so Dragon's not up and Baron's up, I just want to sit bot. I don't want to leave bot. I can team fight if I need, but because my team's ahead, they don't really need me. I can just keep farming up and pressuring bot tower. But there's already two bot lanes, so my team's got an advantage on the map. They will rotate out, but you want to draw as much pressure as you can without dying. If you can get a kill, that's fantastic, but just your pressure alone can make it a 4v3 or a 4v2 on the rest of the map. So I will go towards Rageblade here before Trinity Force. The reason for that is that I want a maximum 1v1 potential because I want to be able to keep the Nasus down. As soon as he's able to 1v1 me, it means the enemy team doesn't need to send another player. So if I go Rage Blade, I'll definitely be able to win because of the penetration and the attack speed. So it is more of a 1v1 item than Triforce. So I will be rushing Rage Blade as my next item. Because if I can still beat Nasus, they need to send 2, and my team is a 4v3 in the rest of the map. So I want to maximize 1v1 stats at this point. In a game where you're already going to win the 1v1, or you're going to be team fighting, you want to get Triforce third. The team does get a pick on the Nasus. I just make sure to clear the wave, get the assist. We can look to take this bot tower if we want. I'm just going to focus on the objective as usual. We don't need to be fighting, just get the tower and back. If we fight, we risk losing it and we risk throwing the game. We can just take the inhibitor and then take mountain without any risk. So that's what I'm asking my team to do. Again, take away the Graves camp so it doesn't take long. So I don't really need to be in mountain. If I can show mid and top, I can draw the enemy team and mean that we can get it for free and draw pressure. I don't really want to be team fighting unless I have to, obviously. So Nasus wasn't looking, he walks in, and you can see what I was talking about. At this point, it's just an easy 1v1 as he hasn't got the stats to deal with me. Generally, it's around level 6 where it becomes level 6 to 10, where it becomes very difficult to 1v1 Nasus. If you can get ahead and farm, you can be a little bit further ahead, but he just becomes such a strong duelist at level 6 that you do lose that most of the time, unless you've got an advantage. Again, just going to focus the objective. They're chasing Talon. Probably don't need to, but that's okay. And we get the inhib for free. I honestly think that Tryndamere is mostly about macro. He's obviously a fairly simple mechanical champion. So macro and objectives is probably the best way to play him, just because of how much mobility he has, the objective taking control, and obviously the 1v1 potential. But I think the biggest aspect of playing him successfully is the macro and objective gameplay. Do pick up a free extra kill, but at this point we are going to cleanse out the game and take tower. A fairly strong win. Great job by my jungler in mid there, but shut down the Nasus and got an easy win and really exploited his weak early game. If you guys like this Tryndamere game, feel free to drop a like down below, comment if you've got any questions, or let me know what you'd like to see next. I've been working on a highlight video for April, so let me know if monthly highlights is something you guys would be interested in. Apart from that, thanks for watching everyone, and as always, good luck in solo queue.